Welcome to the Lone Star State as we close in on kickoff in the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. This is part of the MLS's All-Star festivities, and with the All-Star Game tonight, this is the precursor to that matchup between the East and the West alongside former MLS star Ricky Lopez-Espin, Michael Watreng. Great to have you with us here tonight. We are going to see a lot of fun action here today as we take a look at the West All-Stars. You have a lot of multi-sport players on this pitch here today.
Just fantastic athletes. One player that I want to highlight, Trevor Walsh, who's a defender for the Colorado Rapids. He ran 250 miles last summer, so look for him to be the leader within this back line for the West.
On the East, this is how they line up here today, and you have a lot of talented players on the pitch for this one.
And shout out to Khalil Cooper, who is a forward for the Philadelphia Union. Michael, the first time he was on a plane was to play in this game in Austin, Texas.
We'll get in through the stories of these players as we go on throughout the day. Last year, it was the East winning at 5-0. Kelvin Alvarado from Charlotte scored twice in that matchup, and we're going to find out who takes this matchup in the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. So great to have you with us to kickstart a Wednesday morning here in the Lone Star State. It's the East in the red kits, the West in the white kits, and we are ready for action here on a sunny Wednesday morning in Austin, Texas. The whistle blows, and the East puts the ball in play, and here we go to kickstart this matchup. It is the Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game presented by Coca-Cola, the East and the West. Hope you can come in and stay a while with us here as we go through this one today. There are a lot of fun stories that we will get into throughout this matchup. There's 42 players representing 21 MLS teams. You have 11 from the East, 10 from the West, and these athletes here today. It's a great opportunity, Ricky, to get this chance to play in this one, but even more so, it's a chance to build some relationships, build some friendships this week.
Such a cool opportunity for every single one of these players, and also the ability to get rewarded for all of their hard work within this season. So you get to enjoy this moment, you make friendships, you make relationships. That's a really good pass here.
Rojas chases, but the flag is up for offside. Kevin Rojas, the 18-year-old, attending a junior college out of LA Galaxy's unified team. This is all part of the relationship with MLS Works, the community outreach initiative dedicated to addressing important social issues. On Sunday, they had the MLS All-Star Day of Service. 200 volunteers helping to clean up Lady Bird Lake. Always when you're in these All-Star games as well, it's always fun to watch how these players will interact with each other, because you don't get a lot of practice time, but ultimately in the end, you have some of these great players getting a chance to be a part of a cohesive unit of fellow great players. Gonzalez tips that ball, but this one will angle out for a goal kick.
Also an opportunity for these players to actually become teammates with the players that they play against throughout the season. So again, you need to enjoy this moment. You take it for what it is and try to do your best in terms of your effort and just being a good teammate. And that's what this is all about, just getting rewarded for all the hard work that you've done this season.
A little bit of wind here today, but nevertheless, good chance to catch the sights and the sounds of this matchup. Each team will get the early goal. Expect to see both sides play with that confidence and zest for goal scoring. A lot of these athletes, they don't just play soccer, they're involved in a lot of different sports. Some you have 5 or 6 in the Special Olympics realm playing those sports, but so much talent on the field here today. For the restart, long ball down the sideline, brought in.
Great touch.
A stumble. Back to his feet. That's Zane Mushtaba from New York Red Bulls. Gives it away ultimately, and now a chance for the East to surge forward, but that pass just slips past.
We've seen a lot of direct play early on here, 4 minutes in. So the team that can control the ball, get numbers higher up the field, another good opportunity here.
Ball ricochets off of a body and rolls out, so for the first time today, we will see a goal kick from Bridget Bolleton out of Chicago Fire. Studying to be a firefighter right now at the College of Lake County.
And Bridget is a player that has played 5 special. Good move here.
It's Valise tracking it down. Valise dodges the first. Valise cuts it across. Bit of defending there by Emmerich Leon from Inter Miami.
Bridget, the goalkeeper for the East, 5th time playing in the Special Olympics, so she is a true leader, and look for her to communicate and organize his players in front of her.
Background well as it skips out of play. These players will be aggressive in their shot opportunities. There's a look at Eric Silva Ortega. Speaks 4 languages as well as American Sign Language as well.
And he plays the trumpet as well. Talented individual, Eric is.
Here's a long distance shot. Bolleton tested for the first time today, and she smothers it. Early tests for the East goalkeeper. Again, Valise taking aim from long distance, has played in Unified since he was 12. That ball played through. Aguirre tosses it across. Rojas redirects, but he is offside. Yet again, slithering in behind the defense. That's Kevin Rojas, the 18-year-old from Sun Valley.
The West Side having a really good time at just putting their foot on the ball and now giving their teammates the ability to be really direct and aggressive. Nice little ball in. Rojas just a tad bit offside, but you love the aggressive nature from his right winger position to come centrally and just really cause some issues for the other side.
West having their fun as this ball taken by Aguirre as he spins around. Rojas. Carlos Gonzalez defending. Played varsity baseball in high school. Starting here in this All-Star game. Aguirre been a fixture, a conductor of this. Chips this across. Bolleton bobbles, and it spills out in front. And the West have the opening goal. Elliot Kaiser from Portland Timbers strikes with the opener for the West.
Great start here for the West through the first 7 minutes. Have been the better of the two sides, and I love the aggressive nature to a quick start from Rojas, and this is all about the individual brilliance from Aguirre. Picks his head up and just puts the ball into a dangerous area, and as an attacking player, you get rewarded for creating your own luck. Opportunistic nature from Kaiser to join the attack and just sit right on top of that 6-yard box, and he gets rewarded to put the West in the lead.
Elliot Kaiser scores. We'll see his brother Felix later on in the match, and he almost looked like he was doing another one of his favorite hobbies. He's a chess fanatic, a USCF rating of 15-19. That's closing in on expert level of a chess player, and he was like a chess piece on the board, finding that right location and tucking that ball in with the opening goal of our 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. How will the East respond now after falling into this hole early and being under some pressure? They'll get a throw. This is Charlotte FC's David Johnson. Both Charlotte players scored in last year's All-Star game. Cycling the ball in, a couple bobbles. Parks is there after a couple bounces. That's Thomas Parks, a Special Olympics athlete for over a decade, and now in his 3rd year with FC Dallas. shovels and taken right back over by the West. And a direct pass. Rojas lurks. That's a good initial touch there by Jillian Mora.
Really good positioning there for Mora, understanding that you have Rojas providing the width, so you need to stay a little bit more central just to provide some coverage. And a really good defender for this east side.
Well, a chance to mention the coaches for these two teams. For the East, it's Kim Pelkey, Jim Nelson, Amanda Mora. And then for the West, Amy Wiesenhutter, Jose Barajas, and Nikki Ashaka. That ball bounces. Bolton is there. Pick that one up. Well, it's a fun week for everybody to be here in Austin. We saw the MLS Next All-Star game on Monday with some of the young stars of tomorrow. Last night was the Skills Challenge. Tonight we'll wrap things up with the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars. Coming up for offside here. And of course, this game right in the middle of it all. And for, as you mentioned, for many of these players, a chance to really travel for the first time. You mentioned Khalil Cooper being on the plane for the first time, the Philadelphia Union East All-Star. But a lot of these young athletes talked about the fact that a big part of their role in their community, in their schools, is to embrace the inclusivity that is required. And this is no doubt a part of it. You see a lot of the celebration and the excitement that those players have to be on the field. Gets played out wide. There's some numbers here. Only one defender back. That ball is past the first. This shot attempt. Bolton is there to make the stop. That's a good save by Bolton against Kaiser, who has scored in this game.
Kaiser trying to get his second goal in this first half. You played direct. Now you really put pressure on this back line of the East, but I love the positioning from Bolton. Notice how she just comes across towards her near post, like cut down the angle, really secure hands, fantastic goalkeeping.
Oh, rolls back for Thomas Parks. That's a good showing in the attack for the Western Conference side so far. They're finding some space. Look at Rojas on this right-hand side. Rojas has the space, brings it in. Kevin Rojas rockets and just shoots it a tad high, but yet again, he has found himself in good positions to try to score.
Rojas has been really active for this West Side House. He provides the width. Now that opens up a nice little avenue for him to come into. And his first touch here is so good. Just puts it out in front of his body, which allows him to create contact with the second strike. Just a little bit off balance when he approaches that ball. But again, the West really on the front foot here within the first 12 minutes.
See a couple changes. Logan Walters replaces William Wise. Wise, 3 years with New England Revolution. Began in Bermuda with the Devonshire Cougars. And he comes out. The other change for the East is Richard Matthews. He replaces Braden Jenkins. And be sure to check out Jenkins' podcast. It's called Champions Among Us. He interviews Special Olympics athletes at events like these, so I'm sure he'll have some fresh content for you in that area. Once again, Champions Among Us podcast.
We have to tune in.
No doubt.
I'm sure there's going to be some fantastic episodes coming in from this week.
Good ball. Finds Gonzalez, but he is just slightly offside. There were a couple changes as well. Elijah Ramos comes off the pitch, a recent graduate of Weiss High School in Pflugerville, Texas. He's an interesting story because he owns a bounce house and water slide rental company that was launched in April 2022. Runs it part-time with his family, and he gives summer jobs to those with disabilities. for that. So an entrepreneur. Angel Castillo is the one that comes in to replace Ramos. And the other change was Kaiser. The goal scorer comes out, and Ryan Walker comes in. So we'll see how these changes impact and influence this matchup. Ball plays up top. Leaves, drifts to the corner. Mora intervenes. This ball bobbles. Rojas just couldn't quite connect. He's going to get one at some point. Rojas curls this around. Canceling out. Then this shot attempt is brilliant. Oh, that's a great strike. The West have a second, and it is Ben Feliz from Real Salt Lake making it 2-0. And let's have some fun.
Frame it. Frame that celebration. Worthy of a goal of this quality, and it starts with the wide parts of the field. Feliz on the left-hand side, Rojas on the right-hand side. Both players linking up and being really aggressive, but you have to talk about the technical ability, number one, but also the decision-making from Rojas to pick up his head and just put a dime ball to that far post, and this is just pure quality and talent from Feliz. Notice how he lets the ball drop and swing straight through it and just tattoos this thing. Great goal, but even better celebration, and the West have their second in this first half.
The celebration's a big part of our match here in the Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game presented by Coca-Cola. Feliz, who was part of the youth academies at both Monterrey and Pumas, born to a Chilean father and a mother from New York. Passionate about music, plays both the piano and the trumpet, and now with some string music for the West to make it 2-0. Like he's going to come out here as well as Blaze Richard, who plays collegiately at Regis University, is going to come in as the West are going to make a few different changes. German Castillo and Felix Kaiser also come in to this matchup. They'll have subs throughout the match. Back and forth we go, but how about this quick start here for the West? And now the East tries to find their rhythm, and this is a good takeaway. Fazal gets bumped around and ultimately gets dispossessed. Johnston pressures. Here we go. The West playing forward. Rojas again finding some space. Kevin Rojas gallops. Gonzalez cannot get there initially, but does get to the second ball.
That is really good work from Carlos Gonzalez. It has to be a foul. This left-hand side for the East, you see how aggressive they have been, because for the West, Rojas has been really active. He's been really aggressive and such a threat. But just notice the double team down this near-hand side, and then to win a foul, going back the other way for the East. Really good work on both sides of the ball from both sides.
Pretty good little duel brewing with Gonzalez on one side, Eberle as well, and Rojas as those two tap each other on the shoulders.
Talk about the multi-athletes. And so Alex Eberle also plays basketball. He likes to listen to music, works at Publix, so he's a true all-around athlete. And you see the athletic ability there.
East are going to make, looks like 5 different changes here. They'll spread the wealth everybody getting their fair share of minutes, and certainly the East looking for a little bit of tactical change as well. Eberle, who's been excellent on the pitch, comes off, and we see Jacob Groschal come in. Daniel Atuma. And the rest of this crew coming on the field. Well, if you're just joining us, the West have showcased their goal-scoring prowess. Elliot Kaiser scored in the 7th minute. Ben Veliz scored in the 15th minute. So it's the Timbers and Real Salt Lake both scoring. The West also brings in Felicity Padilla, replacing Eric Silva Ortega. So here we are in the 20th minute, and it's the West out in front. 2-0, and the East trying to find an answer. Expected goals, and that's what we've seen so far. Michael Watring, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our crew with you here for a Wednesday morning affair in the MLS's Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. Let's see if these changes have an influence on the scoreline for the East. This ball bounces in. Sierra chips it back. Here's Blaze Richard.
Number 18, Julian Wood, as well as number 16, Gibson. Substitution for the West, now in number 7, Felicity Padilla.
Just see this East side elect to be a little bit more aggressive, committing more numbers forward, trying to force a turnover to try to cut this lead in half. So a good little tactical change from the subs, that just providing some impact. Not even a minute in here. Good read.
Good takeaway. Rochelle cannot quite hold on to it, however. Tracks it back down and leads to a giveaway. Johnston leads it over. This is Matthews hooking it around, and Parks. Did he get a piece of it to keep it out? He did. And it's a corner on the first real good chance for the East.
But it starts with the aggressive nature and the willingness to read this game from Groschal. Now just chaos starts to ensue. Look, you talk about the work rate to recover the ball as quickly as you can if you are the East. And as this ball falls to Matthews, does a really good job at hitting it first time, trying to wrong foot the goalkeeper, but just pushes it wide.
Ike Eisworth gets a chance to take this corner. He studies finance at the University of Georgia. Prepares for the first corner kick. 3rd year with the unified team. Slingshots this ball in. A nice header, just goes high. It just evaded Parks, and on that late dashing run, it looked like it was, I think, Atuma that was making that run.
Great run from Atuma. The DC United midfielder has a really good understanding of where to be at the right place at the right time, and you just see he wanted that goal extremely bad, does everything right, just unable to keep it underneath the crossbar, but he's been really good since coming onto this field.
I think what you see in all-star games all the time, particularly when you have subs like this, is sometimes it takes a little bit of time to start to find that comfort level with the skills of the players around you, and I think that's what we're seeing from the East right now. There's space for Groschal. Groschal will get there in time.
Try to go for the nutmeg.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's a ball of energy out there. Johnston the 3rd. Dodges the first man, not the second, however. The East pressuring. Eisworth makes the turn. Eisworth rolls it out to the left-hand side. Here's a long distance shot, and that one does not miss by much. Atuma yet again showcasing the skill.
Eisworth and Atuma formed a nice relationship in central locations. Just notice how quickly the ball moves. And Atuma really aggressively does a nice job by taking his second touch in front of his body. It almost puts the East on the board.
Well, if you've been in Texas at any time in the summer, you know how hot it can get even at these early hours. And we got our first hydration break of the match, and the East starting to find a little bit of form. But the West getting off to a really good start in this match. They lead it 2-0 as we take a look back at how we got to this point. And it was off of a throw, and it was all Aguirre setting things up. And ultimately, in the end, a really good finish from Kaiser.
It was the wide parts of the field for this West side, the ability to put numbers into dangerous areas. You get rewarded. Kaiser does a nice job at just continuing his run. And this is a great work first from Rojas on this right-hand side. Then it comes all the way over to Veliz. He wins his first challenge, and then this is just a fantastic strike in terms of his technical ability, and you just see what it means. A celebration 10 out of 10 so far for the Western side.
How much planning do you think goes into some of these celebrations?
A ton. A ton. If you're playing in an all-star game, you expect you're going to score goals. So right before this game in the locker room, we're like, okay, what are we going to do? We need to showcase this to the camera.
Well, fun being had by all here today. It's good to be with you to start the Wednesday afternoon of affairs here in the MLS All-Star Week. And it's been a good one as well. It had the East prevailing over the West in the MLS Next All-Star Game on Monday night. Skills competition last night, and later on this evening it will be the MLS against League MX coming up to wrap things up in the MLS All-Star festivities. It's a good crowd here today in Austin to watch the match here in this Special Olympics Unified Sports All-Star Game. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our team with you. And one thing that we looked at with how things have evolved in this game, MLS clubs have provided an authentic MLS first team experience. They've had signing days, jersey unveils, practices, scrimmages with the front office staff and first team players, game day recognition as well. And what they try to do is they try to have the unified games on the same days as the first team games, where it's kind of the same experience, same level of travel, same opportunities for a lot of these kids to have those chances to be able to have their dreams come true playing soccer when they're also focused on so many other sports.
It's just awesome to see the opportunity given to the players that deserve this type of platform. Right, we talked about some of the bios that we've seen from a lot of these athletes on the field, not only excelling on the soccer field, but off of it. Talk about entrepreneurs. You look at Fazal Barber, has his own barbershop. You look at a player like Kelly Cooper, first time on an airplane. Those little nuances are just so great for these players, an opportunity to come onto this field and really take advantage of this platform given by MLS and MLS Works, what they've been able to do to give back to the community.
Yeah, got to give our guy, Afan Fazal from Toronto FC, a shout out. You can follow him on Instagram, Afan Blends. That's A-F-A-A-N Blends with a Z at the end. There's a lot of the cuts for his teammates and showcases that for the 18-year-old from Ontario.
Think we get a discount?
We might, yeah.
If we end up going up to Toronto?
Yeah, I might need one here soon. But here we sit, 27th minute of play. It is the West out in front, 2-0. And that's after the East won last year's game 5-0. So let's see if the East can find their answer. You're looking at two men right there, and David Johnston III and Daniel Atuma, as well as Jacob Rochal, who's wearing the captain's armband, that all have influenced the match here in the last several minutes. So after the hydration break of about 4 or 5 minutes, we'll get back into the action here in Thomas Parks. An advocate for the intellectual and developmental disability community plays this ball back into play, and here comes that pressure. Rochal, quick turnover, throws it across. Matthews redirects it in. Toronto's Richard Matthews gets one back for the East.
What a great celebration, deserving of a fantastic goal. Starts with a recognition from Gershon to be aggressive, and now notice how he requires so much attention. He puts the ball into a dangerous area, and right there, Richard Matthews, the Toronto FC forward, knows where to be at the right place at the right time, and it's a composed finish. And not one, but every single player from the East All-Star side goes to the corner to celebrate. Nice little dance moves, and they are back into this game.
Richard Matthews, a relative of the former Canadian Prime Minister, William Lyon Mackenzie King, who served for 13 years in the 1930s and 40s, has the opening goal for the East, and it's 2-1. And just off of the hydration break, the rebuttal. And this is what we expect the rest of the way. A good seesaw affair with high entertainment value. And we just hope that there's enough celebration to go around for all these goals.
I think that's the least of our worries. There's going to be tons of celebration. Richard Matthews, he's one of those multi-athletes that we continue to talk about. He's been in Special Olympics for softball, basketball, track, but soccer is his favorite. And he made no mistake about showing it with how happy he was scoring that goal.
So 2-1 now with about a quarter hour to go here in this first half of play in our 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez-Espin, and the rest of our team. Grateful to have you on board with us here today. How will the West respond? This is Blaze Richards slicing through the defense. Richard cut off initially, gets it back, finds space. Richard shoots off of the deflection. Bolleton dives and makes the save.
Great work from Richards, the forward for the Rapids. Really quick, but very comfortable with the ball at his feet in tight spaces. Does a good job at creating his own shot. In the end, good save from Bolleton.
In the middle of the field. On the West. Ball hits the official. We get the whistle. Tuma. Gets this through the middle of the field. On the redirect, Sierra can't quite hold on to it. Two men run into each other. Eisworth cannot come out of there with it. Instead, it's another surge, and there's Rojas yet again. Gonzalez.
It's a nice little battle that we have on this near side. Rojas and Gonzalez, two players, very quick, very strong. Good recognition from Rojas to go quick again.
It looks like we're going to actually get subs before that throw. And in fact, it is an east throw and not a west. That's another part of this equation here.
I think Rojas got called for a foul throw. Have to start from behind your head, can't leave your feet.
So we have 5 new players for the West, 4 for the East, and we'll see a variety of players making their way in throughout this matchup. Felicity Padilla is coming off, and it's Amiri Tetrapal coming in. He's finishing up his bachelor's degree right now at the University of Minnesota. And I think that's another one of the fun dynamics of this game is you have some that are still sophomore, juniors in high school. You have others that are finishing up their collegiate degrees. You have different levels of experience in this sport as well as others, and different levels of life experience as well, with some traveling a bunch, others that don't travel quite as much. And in fact, you see Elliot Kaiser getting ready to come back in. He and his brother Felix go to a lot of Portland Timbers matches. They love going to the Portland Trail Blazers games. Big fans of Formula One as well.
Seen the new movie, Formula One?
I have not. Have you?
You have to. Very, very,
Very good.
Very good. I'm sure Elliot and Felix have watched it.
Oh, I'm sure they have. They might have seen it twice by now. I've heard it's that good that you want to see it multiple times in theaters. Jaden Carvajal comes out. He's a big fan of the Godzilla movies, so.
Has a local support too, plays for Austin FC. But you know he's going to be full of energy, trying to make a positive impact for his side.
Fun for Ramos and Moises Aguirre. Too often Austin FC selections. Each MLS Unified team had 2 selections. One of the Special Olympics, one of the Unified partners. Rojas. Behind the back there by Castillo. Couldn't quite find the target, and now Atuma. Shots this ball forward. It's off of Johnston III. Ramos able to hold on to it. Atuma with quite the dance move to get past the first 2, and now glides it out wide. Darian Sierra, first in, last to leave kind of player. Sierra fakes the first, gets past the defender, touches it across, all the way up top. Everly cannot quite put it on target. It was a good ball out top for Alex Eberle from Atlanta United, but couldn't quite put it on frame.
Really good work from Sierra, the Inter-Miami midfielder, who just peels out this left-hand side. Says he plays with a smile. Did a really good job at creating joy for the East side and almost finds the equalizer here through Eberle.
Been a little bit of a tale of 2 different games. The first 15 to 18 minutes or so was all West. The way they were living inside of the penalty area, and ever since then, the field has shifted.
You just see how aggressive the East is playing now. All 10 outfield players in your attacking half, so they're just trying to keep everything in front of them and trying to make the field as tight and compact defensively as they can.
Almost touches that forward. Too much on that touch, and Atuma, who's been all over the field, picks up another. Eisworth evades the first and draws a foul on the second.
Atuma and Eisworth have done a good job between the 2 of them at really getting on the ball and being the engine for this almost comeback for the East.
Will they be able to get all the way back before halftime as the West will make a couple more changes here. Including the Austin FC man, Moises Aguirre. He's a senior at Hendrickson High School. Plays soccer and a member of the junior ROTC program. Atuma gets it off of the restart. Chips this ball over the top. It's Sierra bringing it down, touches it forward. Parks comes out, makes the stop, but on the redirect, it's Jacob Groschal, the 20-year-old Chicago fireman, ties the score at 2.
Great celebration for the East. An even better little pick out here from Atuma to play in behind. And this is all about the aggressive nature and the one to get on the end of this ball from Groschal. Beats the goalkeeper, and in the end, it's an easy goal to tie this game 2-2 for the East. Game on here in Austin. You see the celebration, getting every single one of his teammates to the corner flag and to do the Diogo Jota celebration. Great goal.
Groschal studying sports management right now at DePage. Spent 4 years as a volunteer coach, longtime soccer player of 13 years. He had an assist earlier on the Matthews goal and now has a goal in this one. So it's 2 apiece. Closing in on the end of the first half, and we'll get a change in goal for the West as well. Like it'll be Ryan Walker coming in from Real Salt Lake, replacing check that, it's Bolleton is out. And I think it's New England Revolution man, William Wise coming in. I don't know, check that, Braden Jenkins. So tied at 2 with 5 minutes to go before halftime. Michael Watchering, Ricky Lopez Espin, and our team enjoying this one in the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. West led 2-0. East have scored back-to-back. Eisworth touches this ball across. Atuma rolls it around, and it sneaks past the line. The East have scored 3 unanswered in less than a dozen minutes and lead by a goal.
Told you the celebrations were coming. Fast and furious and executed to perfection right in front of the camera. But I love the work rate from Eisworth. The ability to not outrun 1, 2, but 4 of the West defense and then put the ball into a dangerous area. You will get rewarded from his running mate, Daniel Atuma, the DC United midfielder, the valedictorian for his high school in 2025. Did a good job at getting himself right on top of that 6-yard box and to give the East their first lead in this All-Star game.
Atuma, he's going to attend Bucknell in the fall. A couple scholarships for him to join Bucknell. West makes a change. Trevor Walsh is in. Eisworth coming out for the East. And Jillian Mora coming back in. Second year playing MLS Unified for Jillian. She's a registered nurse in the emergency department in Advent Health up in Orlando. Castillo's coming out and Elliot Kaiser is coming back in. Here before the end of the first half, and the West now have to shift their mindset. They scored twice in the opening quarter hour, but since the 28th minute, it's now 3 unanswered from the East. Bobble a nod. Atuma, delightful 2 touches and a great twirl. Mora lines it up out to the wide side. It's a good dash here. Fazal, plenty of time and space. Fazal hooks this ball around. It trickles along, and Groschal is there to tuck it away. It's his second in 5 minutes, 4 unanswered for the East in a 4-2 lead.
What a comeback this is for the East. The understanding that if you continue to be vertical and direct, now you really apply some real pressure on this Western Conference All-Stars back line. Lazal doing a good job at understanding Groshaw's right on top of that 6-yard box. So I just put the ball and give my teammate a chance. He will get on the end of it. Groshaw's going to run out of celebrations. The amount of scoring that he's done in the last couple of minutes here to give the East a 2-goal cushion right in front of halftime.
2 goals and an assist now for Groshaw from Chicago Fire. And quite the performance here in the West, trying to find their answer now. It's a good ball laid out wide. Appeals for the offside flag, but that ball instead harmlessly rolls out for a East throw. Well, how do you summarize the opening 45 minutes of play that we've seen so far?
Back and forth. It's exactly what you want in an all-star game like this. You want the athletes to express themselves, to have fun, to be attacking minded, to take chances, and we've seen 6 goals in 45 minutes. Good showing. Very good showing here.
A lot of fun being had by everybody so far. A lot more action to come as we go through this. It's a nice move. It ultimately rolls out to this sideline where it is cleared by Aiden Hester. Yet again, the attack starts to brew for the East. Two minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Redirects. Ramos will not get there in time. There's our guy, Kevin Rojas. I was just thinking about when he would join this spell. Cannot continue on his run. He has an assist in this game. Long ball here. Groshaw gets the edge, but not all the way. Is taking no chances that time with Zamiri Petrapal. You can see the throw. Atuma leads it for Sierra. Atuma right back. Darian Sierra wins a corner.
Really good defensive play from the West, understanding the combination play in this near hand side, so you have to drop and just try to eliminate that space behind you and to force a dangerous corner kick.
Goes to Sierra, who lights this ball across. Out of there. Now a shot from outside of the 18. Skims off of a head from Aiden Hester and goes out for another corner. And likely the final action of this first half will be this corner kick. Sierra to take this. Sierra boomerangs this ball around. Parks is there to haul it in. Parks shows off the arm. Firing that all the way out to midfield, and that is your first half whistle. And what a showing it has been so far through 45 minutes of play. Joy and fun had by all, but the Chicago Fire midfielder Jacob Groshaw has scored twice. He has an assist, and it's the East out in front at the break by a 2-1 tally. This is the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game, and it got started on a sunny morning here. The West got off to a great start. 2 early goals. Kaiser and Valise in the first quarter hour, but then the onslaught from the East. 4 goals in the final 17 minutes and through 45 minutes of play. It is the East out in front, 4-2. We'll step out for a break and rewind the highlights when we return.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars.
Dangerous through ball into the pass area. Around the keepers. Gallardo gets it away. It's Paulinho. Oh, how good is that? Ball in for Evander. It's set up nicely for him. And that's a lovely.
And this is well done. Oh, straight from the training ground.
Este verano la Leagues Cup regresa más fuerte que nunca. Comenzamos con 36 clubes. En la primera fase, cada equipo jugará contra 3 equipos de la liga rival para determinar su posición en la fase de eliminación directa.
The 4 top-seeded clubs from each league will move on, ensuring interleague matchups all the way through the quarterfinals.
3 naciones, 2 ligas y un solo campeón. En Leagues Cup 2025,
It's dominance on the line.
This summer, the center of the soccer world is right here. The world's best, the world's game, all in your backyard.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars. Messi, the ball.
One summer like no other. Learn more at mlssoccer.com/summer.
The youngest MLS debutant, Kevin Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
I got something that you never heard. Sounds sweet like a dessert. Ice cold, got you saying burn. Not the same, but you wish you were. Indie grind stepping, from a pole repping. L Gibson with the abs, I'm a lethal weapon. Slide, bounce, go and get down. Come on, do it now, do it proud, just bless yourself. Sound good for your health.
It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you rep your club in style.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dolce? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker. Messi!
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Red Bull New York versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
A joyous opening 45 minutes of play here in Austin, Texas. The East scores 4 unanswered to take a 4-2 lead at the break. Michael and Ricky back with you as we look back at our first half highlights. And Ricky, first half, it looked like the West were going to run away with this thing. It was an early start, 7th minute. Aguirre to Kaiser for the opener.
Does a really good job to put the ball in a dangerous area, and Kaiser just understanding if I get myself into a dangerous area, I will get rewarded, and he gets the West on the board, and you thought it was going to be all one-way traffic because it didn't take long for the West to find their second goal. And again, from the wide parts of the field, Rojas doing a good job. Notice this little move right there, and it picks his head up, puts the ball in around that 18-yard box, and this is a great goal for Belize. The technical ability to let it drop and just smack it into the back of the net. 2-0 at this point in time for the Western Conference All-Stars.
The East was starting to get a little bit of form. They watched these celebrations. They took that under advisement, and right after the hydration break, these were the first touches after that, and in the end, Richard Matthews finishes to make it 2-1.
Whatever the head coaches, Tim Pelkey, Jim Nelson, Amanda Mora for the East side really struck a chord with their side because it was a different Eastern Conference All-Star side. They were more aggressive, they were more vertical, and in the end, they got rewarded not once, not twice, but 4 times to end this first half, and this is the goal here from Groschall to get his first on this afternoon.
That was in the 38th minute to tie the score at 2 apiece. And it was video game-like the rest of the first half. In the 41st minute, this was Atuma finally getting rewarded after a couple chances.
Number 8, right center of your screen right now, does a good job at just sticking with the play, getting himself right on top of that 6-yard buck. Him and Eisworth did a good job of understanding the movements off one another. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it, just needs to walk across that goal line and out to the corner to celebrate. And hit me if you've heard this before. Rochelle to get his second in this first half. Number 5 right there, penalty mark. Easy goal, off to the corner to celebrate. That's 2 goals for him. That is 4 for the East, and they are in the driver's seat at halftime.
2 goals and an assist for Chicago Fire's Jacob Groschall. And it is 4-2 East out in front. Do the West have a comeback? Or do the East keep the pedal to the metal? We'll find out when we come back. Second half comes your way when we return.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars.
Dangerous through ball into the pass area. Around the keepers.
Gallardo gets it away. It's Paulinho. Oh, how good is that? Ball in for Evander. It's set up nicely for him. And that's a lovely. And this is well done. Oh, straight from the training ground.
Este verano la Leagues Cup regresa más fuerte que nunca. Comenzamos con 36 clubes. En la primera fase, cada equipo jugará contra 3 equipos de la liga rival para determinar su posición en la fase de eliminación directa.
The 4 top-seeded clubs from each league will move on, ensuring interleague matchups all the way through the quarterfinals.
3 naciones, 2 ligas y un solo campeón. En Leagues Cup 2025,
it's dominance on the line.
This summer, the center of the soccer world is right here. The world's best, the world's game, all in your backyard.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars. Messi the ball.
One summer like no other. Learn more at mlssoccer.com/summer.
The youngest MLS debutant, Kevin Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
I got something that you never heard. Sounds sweet like a dessert. Ice cold, got you saying burn. Not the same, but you wish you were. Indie grind stepping, from a fold repping. Now in with the ops, I'm a little weapon. Slide, bounce, go and get down. Come on, do it now, do it proud, just bless yourself. Sound good for your health.
It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you rep your club in style.
You ready? MLS is game on. Don't you? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker. Messi!
30,000 friends on. Rivalries on.
Red Bull New York versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
We welcome you back to the Lone Star State. It is the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. And the East has the edge at the break. 4-2 after winning last year's matchup 5-0. It's been a good affair so far. A wholesome effort so far by these two sides as well. It is the West in those white kits and the red kits for the East here today. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our team enjoying this one with you here on a Wednesday morning. And as we get ready for the start of the second half, let's see if the West are going to be able to make a comeback in this one. Ricky, what kind of game do you expect in half two?
Similar. free-flowing, attacking style of soccer, players that want to have fun, players that want to enjoy the moment, and that is what it's all about. You're in an all-star game. You need to go and take in this moment and just squeeze every single juice of joy that you can here. And how you're going to do that, you stick the ball in the back of the net, and then you have all your fun within the celebrations. We saw some great celebrations within the first 6 goals that we had in this game.
The best part of halftime for these players is probably the chance to reset those celebrations. They had to use a good chunk in the first half, and now in the second half they can bring out some fresh ideas for goals that we will see. 4-2, the score at halftime in the second half is ready to get started here in Austin. Here we go, half 2 underway between the East and the West. Second half works out. The East jump starting right where they left off. Fazal. Past Walsh, cuts it back. Here is Mora. Wraps it around. Matthews had it for a moment and then gives it away. Here's Kevin Rojas. Rojas, what a run that is, but ultimately that ball rolls out of play. Rojas really influential in that first half, and if he can get going on that right side, he could certainly be a man that we could see in the scoring column here in half 2.
So if you are the East, you have to provide some coverage on that far side. Almost have a secondary option to drop down and provide a little bit of rotation defensively, because Rojas was a standout player for the West in that first half.
Fazal.
Good run.
Johnston the third. Cannot evade Felix Kaiser. His brother has scored in this one, and now it's Felix's turn. Rolls to this sideline. Trey King unable to slow it down. But it will come forward, and it's Elliot Kaiser with it. Kaiser cuts it back through the middle. It is a good defensive play right there by Harper Gibson coming over from Nashville.
Really good recognition from Gibson. Good move here.
But the speed is on. Here's Blaze Richard. Richard hooks this ball over, and nobody in that mix as it rolls out for a goal kick.
The Colorado Rapids player doing a good job at just being very vertical, very quick, comfortable with the ball at his feet. Favorite food, crawfish, and any type of...
It's crawfish etouffee.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Do you know what crawfish etouffee is?
I know what crawfish
I don't know what it is either.
Has more of an experienced palate than I do, that's for sure.
Loves Cajun cuisine as well. Yeah, it's quite the palate there. I think I had chicken nuggets and broccoli last night, so 2 totally different meals. Another long ball, and that ball does stash over where Trey King steps over the top of it against Gonzalez. King shoveling, Gonzalez tapping, and it's out for a corner kick here for the West.
Gonzalez has had to deal with a lot of attacking players on his side. Good 1v1 defending. The DC United player played varsity baseball. He's an all-star in that as well, so it shows you a little bit of his versatility. But first King, then Rojas has had his hands full through the first 49 minutes here.
And the West get one back. They've given up 4 unanswered. This cross does not reach that first bar. It rolls out. Well, you've had a chance in your time to be a part of the Special Olympics, coached as well. What has those experiences been like for you?
Rewarding. I'd have the luxury of my mother actually being a special needs instructor and having the ability to give back to these tremendous athletes, these tremendous people. And one thing that I take from that is just the joy in everything that they do. Always doing everything with a smile and just the pureness of the intention. And it's a brilliant run.
Richard marooting. Richard hits the outside of the post, however. It did take a deflection as it goes out for a corner.
Another good run here from Blaze Richard. The defender doing a good job at just reading the play. And when he does get on the run, he is really difficult to stop. Wins another dangerous corner kick for his side.
Make your way down to the front table to claim your ticket to tonight's All-Star Game.
So another corner kick here for the West. Let's see if this delivery is pinpoint. Centering ball in, it's bobbled, and it rolls in. And it is an Olympico for the West to make it 4-3. And it's Amiri Petropol from San Jose Earthquakes to stop the 4-goal run and make it a 1-goal match.
Petropol from the San Jose Earthquakes finishing his bachelor's degree, but also finishing this corner kick. Good ball in. Notice the pace, the whip, the movement as he strikes this ball makes it really difficult for any sort of goalkeeper just to get a read on this thing. And he gives the West their third to cut this lead. Only a 1-goal margin in this playoff, in this All-Star game, excuse me.
Petropol has only played soccer for a few years, but he's already played every position. So his experience, understanding different roles, leads to a good ball in there. And after he wasn't able to keep the last corner kick in, this one, he puts it in the net. And it's 4-3. This ball trickles to the far sideline. This game has had quite the roller coaster of events. Early surge by the West. A sustained, successful 17 minutes for the East, and now the second half gets started with the West scoring, and they have numbers in the attack here.
Great
This ball rolls out. It's King. King gets to it as he cuts down his angle and just cannot quite slow it down. But yes, delightful needle threading.
King has provided a positive impact on this near side. The midfielder from FC Dallas, so not too far from his hometown. Created an all-inclusive fitness company in Dallas. You see how strong he is. Good movement. Been a nice player in this second half, specifically for the West.
Yeah, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, head over to K2 Personal Performance. Get your lift in. I know, Ricky, you've missed a good chunk of your workout days lately.
Been traveling, it's tough.
Ball redirects and rolls out for another corner kick. Looks like Blaze Richard is going to go over to take this corner kick. Richard studying health and exercise science at Regis University as a freshman last year for a team that played 4 nationally ranked teams at the Division II level. 14 appearances, a couple goals and an assist. Let's see if he can conduct something here. Just as he was getting ready to strike, he backpedals and now takes this, hooks this ball in. It hits the net, but the outside is corner kicks. It provided some dangerous moments here against the East. It is William Wise in goal.
You are this East now, the amount of pressure that you're under, you just need to play direct. Just try to gain some real estate high up the field. Good ball here. Exactly what we were talking about. Now you just need to push up, retain some possession.
Another opportunity here. It's Kaiser getting it back. Kaiser on the volley. Dents the crossbar. Rojas on the second go. Cannot quite hold on to it as Hester clears it away, and that ball nearly made it 4-4.
Elliot Kaiser already has a goal this morning, but also just watch the patience that he lets it drop in instinctual strike.
The East under duress, much like this game started. Pressure ball. Torpedoes that ball. Off to the top netting. West trying to tie this score. It's a 4-3 game. West scored the first 2. East scored 4 straight. And then Petropol's Olympico.
This is almost the 4th. But I just love how Kaiser goes out and attacks this ball, and he hits it so well. You just notice as it dips at the last second, almost finds the back of the net, but just gets denied by the goalkeeper's best friend, which is the crossbar. But great recognition, even better execution, and nearly the brace this morning for Kaiser.
Boston FC's Elijah Ramos is coming back onto the pitch. Talk about a diverse group of sports that Ramos plays. He's in bowling, basketball, track and field, golf, javelin throw, and soccer. A man that can do it all. Good maneuver there by Harper Gibson. But cannot quite hold on to possession. Rojas has an assist from that area already in this one. Bends this ball around. It's through the hand of Wise, hits off of the right bar, and it goes out for a corner.
Been so good.
Menace.
He's been so good, Rojas has. Comfortable with the ball at his feet, comfortable at putting the ball into a dangerous area. He's been a big standout player for the West.
These West fans cheering on their side, hoping this is an equalizer. High arcing cross in, and that is a flawless execution on that header. Herman Castillo from Sporting Kansas City deadlocks the tally at 4.
Has to be up there with the best of them. What a celebration this is from the West, because they just tied this game 4-4. Number 20 does a good job at just reading the flight of this ball. He goes near, then he peels back because he understands the flight is there, and this is all about the understanding of you need to attack this ball and head it back across where it came from. Sporting Kansas City forward gets the West even 4-4. Even better celebration as well. Rowing the boat action.
Herman Castillo, 24-year-old from Kansas City, recent graduate of Kansas State. Goes to a lot of Sporting Kansas City games at Children's Mercy Park, and now he gets a chance to tie this score up at 4 apiece, and we are in for a good one here the rest of the way. And the tale is almost identical to the first half. The West scored twice in the opening quarter hour. The East controlled the final 20 minutes, though, scoring 4 times after the 28th minute. And here we are in the second half. Goals 6 minutes apart have made this a 4-4 game. You see the whole host of substitutions here. Watch some of the social media moments, particularly you see on the right-hand side of your screen there. That's Jose Barajas from LAFC talking about what it means to be a part of this game, to be a part of just this organization with Special Olympics and MLS Unified. It means a lot to them. And Haley Camacho from LAFC said that it ultimately represents something bigger than myself. It provides a safe space and a level of encouragement that they do not get anywhere else that they've ever been. And that has certainly been the case in this one. A 4-4 game, 58 minutes in. And Ricky, we've seen the blossoming of some of these friendships and relationships throughout the week, and certainly culminating here in this one. And we know that these relationships will continue for years to come after this.
Whether you are on the East, whether you are on the West, one thing that is very evident in a game like this is just the relationships and the respect between the two teams and the players. Notice if a player goes down, whether it is the opposition, first thing is a hand out, trying to help each other out, and that's what it's all about, building these relationships, doing everything together and enjoying this moment. You've worked extremely hard through your career, through your life, through the season to be recognized for an opportunity like this. So what a moment this is, that we've had an hour the pleasure of calling this game. And we've seen some really good goals, we've seen some really good stuff, and more importantly, we've seen some happiness.
And with a half hour left, we're nowhere near finished. with the joy of 4-4 between the East and the West. A high-scoring affair here in this one, and let's see if the East does what they did in the first half and counter a 2-goal start by the West. See the whole host of changes for these two teams. And now back into play with the East drawing something up after that. It is Sierra curling. Eisworth was the target. It skips past him. He knocks it down. Sierra smashes. Parks denies. That is a sturdy right paw right there by Thomas Parks.
Eisworth doing a good job. Just not needing a second invitation to strike this ball, but that is flawless positioning from Parks to stay centrally and just reach down to his right-hand side to deny a go-ahead goal.
The man of the match in the first half, Jacob Rochal, is going to take this corner kick. 2 goals and an assist in half one, but not before we get a couple more changes here. Ramos returns. Castillo is coming out. The man with the equalizing goal at this point. Ramos, a really good contingent here from nearby Pflugerville, Texas. And now Groschal bends this ball around. Eisworth redirects, and it gets cleared away. Appeals for a handball, not heard. And now Sierra volleys from distance. Appeals for a deflection. In the end, it goes out for a goal kick.
It's a good no handball call from our referee. The ball does touch the elbow area, but not in an unnatural position for the defender.
Excellent pass forward here. This is Richard slowing it down. Blaze Richard evades, curls. Winds up outside of the 18. Logan Walters is there to take it away. From Orlando City, Eisworth turns. Wants to play a switching ball across the park. Sierra waits. Give and go with Groschal. Sierra unable to evade that last line of defense. It's fine defensive work there by Eric Silva Ortega. Belize.
Good pass.
Splits this one. Ramos chases. Leaves it out wide.
Starts to feel like this game is starting to open up a little bit. Players understanding what it means and trying to put their team ahead.
Extra gear turned up by these players as well with the acceleration and the pace. You're watching the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game presented by Coca-Cola. MLS Works putting this one on. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our team with you here for MLS All-Star Week. Good to have you on board. Inviting you to finish up your morning with us here in this matchup from Austin, Texas. Splashes down. It rolls all the way across now. Belize takes the throw. Silva Ortega winds this one up, decides to take an attempt at the goal, and ultimately it goes out wide. Matthew Carlian, who wants to be a future congressman, is taken over as the team goalkeeper from Charlotte FC. So if you're in the North Carolina area, keep an eye on that young man at the polls. Aiden Hester returns, a rising junior at Westmore Central High School in New Jersey. New York Red Bulls. Ball rolls through the middle. On the outside it goes now. Darian Sierra touches this ball along. Groschal unleashes one that stays high.
Rachel's done a really good job in his positioning, but also his timing. Understanding when to speed up his run, because if he starts too early, he gets caught offside. You see 2 goals already in this match, and he's been a focal point going forward for the Eastern Conference.
Offside. Ramos lurking just out in front of that back line. Tuma back in. There's numbers here. Back to Eisworth. Eisworth cuts it across. Groeschel knocks it down. Parks dives on top of it.
Not on his watch. Great bit of play here from the East, a combination play, but this is about the positioning, the reactionary skills, and the want from Park, and you see what it means to the goalkeeper. Not on his watch. That ball's not finding the back of the net.
I think we need more goalkeeper celebrations.
I agree.
We don't have enough of those.
I agree.
Signature moment there from Thomas Parks.
They need to pause the game, let him go find a camera, and let him celebrate.
Tied at 4 apiece with about 25 minutes left. Sierra, Atuma right back. The inner Miami midfielder. Sierra dodges, rolls. Atuma tries to get there. Instead, it's Parks to a knee. A little more calm and collected this time around. Good ball. Bounces down. There's 3 East defenders there to get the ball out of there. This is the longest that we've gone without a goal since the 15 to the 28-minute mark. After the West had scored the opening 2 goals of the match, the East would score 4 unanswered in the final 17 minutes as they make a couple changes. You take a look at Richard Matthews, who had the opening goal back in the 28th minute for the East, as well as David Johnston III, the 2024 North Carolina Special Olympics Athlete of the Year, is coming back in. And you got changes for the West as well. Justin Patz coming in. Video game man. Who isn't these days? Ricky, what's your video game of choice?
Ooh, that's a good question. Used to be a huge Fortnite guy.
Wow.
You?
I've never played Fortnite.
Oh my God.
Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden.
Well, it's called FC now. It's not FIFA anymore.
Yeah. I'm not of that age to know. I still call it FIFA. This ball rolls in. Ramos was hopeful to get there. Instead, it's Felix Kaiser. Sierra across. Flag will stay down here. Gonzalez was keeping everybody on. But it's fine defensive work yet again. That is Remy St. Germain. From New England Revolution, Remy St. Germain helped start the Unified Champion Schools program at his high school. Sierra is offside.
Don't think Sierra agrees with that decision. Thought he did just enough to keep himself on side, but as we enter our last hydration break here, 4-4, this is exactly what you want in an all-star game. Players now have the responsibility and the pressure to produce for their conference to try to put their team ahead here.
So we sit tied at 4. At halftime, it was the East on top 4-2. But 5 minutes in, it's an Olympico off of a corner. Amiri Petrapal finding the net to make it 4-3.
Does such a good job. He strikes with enough venom, but also the whip and the movement makes it really difficult to deal with. And this is all about the movement from Castillo here. At the last second, he just peels off the blind side. Great header. Celebration, 10 out of 10. Getting every single person on the rowboat, and they are going away.
So we get our hydration break of the second half here on a sweltering day in Austin. And this was the moment in the first half where the game changed. It was 2-0 West. We went to a hydration break, and 3 to 4 touches later, the East scored, and that started a barrage for the East. Matthews, Groschal, Atuma, Groschal in 15 minutes made it 4-2 at halftime. Second half, the tale has been similar. 2 early goals from the West, and now a hydration break. Let's see if the script follows suit from the opening 45 minutes of play. Good attendance here in Austin, and a good sight to behold here in Austin as well, with all the festivities going on throughout the week. Earlier this week, it was the East beating the West in the 2025 MLS Next All-Star game. That was a fun match to watch back and forth. It was 1-1 at halftime. Then the East would have 3 different leads in that game, but ultimately in the end it would be a Jameer Johnson penalty kick in the 86th minute that proved to be the differentiator in that one, as the East would upend the West 4-3 in that game. What are you looking forward to tonight out of the MLS All-Star game?
Stars, right? You talk about coming into an All-Star game, having 1 or 2 training sessions, and starting to figure out understanding how to play with players that are normally your rivals. So when you get to that level, that type of quality, players that can try to minimize that time of understanding and forming those relationships, is normally the team that will push over and take the win there. But you have so much talent, especially from the Liga MX side. Sergio Ramos, when he come in, James Rodriguez, then Denny Bouanga, Lionel Messi on the MLS side. And what a better, you can't find a better venue to host it in Austin. Q2 Stadium, how loud that stadium can get. You have to tune in tonight on Apple TV MLS Season Pass.
MLS trying to get their first win as they face off against Liga MX for the 4th time in the last 5 years. Last time they won was 2022. It was a 2-1 win in Minneapolis. Minnesota United keeper Dane St. Clair would be the MVP. The last time the MLS won, of course, they lost last year 4-1. Juan Brunetta from Tigres was the MVP of that victory a season ago. So that game will come up later on this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Apple TV.
There's so many storylines in that game as well. You talk about managers having to find the balance and the minute constrictions that these players are going to play, but also a lot of these players, or every single one of those players, are going to see each other in Leagues Cup a couple days after.
Well, if this is the appetizer, it has been quite a treat for us here in the 2025 MLS Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game, presented by Coca-Cola. 4-4. The East in the red, the West in the white. Michael Watreng, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our crew with you here in Austin, Texas, guiding you to the finish line. Come in and hang out with us to close out this matchup here today. Sierra, Eisworth, Eisworth launches this. Atuma takes a couple touches. Gets it across. It stays in play. Rolls out where Mushtaba knocks it down. And then Atuma directs this ball wide left.
Those two players, Eisworth and Atuma, done a good job, especially in that first half, of playing off of one another and just really dictating the tempo in favor of the East. Not missing a beat here, so look for those two to look for each other and to combine, especially higher up the field.
Rochelle, Matthews glide past one defender. Sierra beats the first man. Sierra sizzles off of a defender's backside. Eisworth now unfurls one that rolls calmly back to Parks.
With the amount of pressure that we've seen the West under the last couple minutes, they've done a good job at their positioning defensively, and then when you have the confidence of Thomas Parks behind you. Talk about Thomas Parks, the goalkeeper from FC Dallas. He has a music contract. So he's such the musician from Stockyards Agency in Fort Worth. See if he's on Apple Music. Give him a download.
To listen to some of those bangers on the drive home. This ball wraps around, gets knocked out. Now Ramos. Ramos with a little bit of real estate in front of him. Given away for a moment, and then Ramos is back on it. Gonzalez steps up to take over. Atuma. Rochelle cannot slow it down. Ramos. It's his team a throw. And a couple more changes in the final quarter hour of this game, and you do get a little bit of the sense now that after the game had opened up just a little bit, it is starting to close down here, with both sides trying to see this one all the way through. As you take a look at Emric Leon from Inter Miami replacing Zain Mushtaba. Mushtaba participates in the Appalachian Service Project, rebuilding homes to underserved communities. In the Unified program for 4 years and will attend Seton Hall. And the man that replaces him, Leon, has to clear this ball away. Trey King from FC Dallas throws this ball right at the feet of Silva Ortega, and it is an illegal throw, so it's given to the East. Stop off the field. Tuma took the throw. And now a free kick. Atuma twirls. Cannot beat his man. Leon cannot beat Rojas. Sierra brings it down. Sierra goes right into the traffic. Atuma. Johnston. Atuma off of a defender. Sierra right back. Atuma pauses. Hits another defender in the backside. Great defending by the West, and now they break free. Silva Ortega. And it ultimately falls right down to Carlian.
Another example of just how good defensively the West has been. Ability to win their individual duels, to do it together, and just to stay right on top of that 18-yard box, to almost provide almost a security blanket type in front of Thomas Parks.
Shaw whistles after this. Will he get there in time? He does not. Goal kick. Plethora of changes coming here for the East. Logan Walters, the first man coming in, Orlando City, been part of that squad for the last 3 years. See Alex Eberle coming in as well. Eberle, Atlanta United, he's got a tattoo of the crest on his thigh. About being dedicated in it, huge fan.
Give us Cincinnati's Reds tattoo? Aren't you a big fan?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, but when they haven't won a playoff game since 1995.
So you're a fair weather fan, that's
yeah,
what you call it, right? Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely. You can call every Cincinnati fan a bandwagon fan, considering the droughts that we've been on. Sierra moves this ball forward. It skims off of the first man. Castillo lines up. The opportunity here along that right side. Rojas hits the corner flag and skips out for a goal kick. 80th minute of play. We're tied at 4, and we are going through the longest goal-scoring drought of this match. Kaiser scored the opener in the 7th for the West. Valise added a second in the 15th minute. And then the East would score 4 more before halftime. Matthews in the 28th, Groschall in the 38th and 43rd, and Atuma in the 41st. It was 4-2 East at halftime before the West would score in the 50th and 56th minutes. Off of corner kicks, Ketchapal and Castillo. And that's where we sit right now with 10 more minutes to go in a 4-4 game in the 2025 MLS Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game.
It's been really cool to see through the 8 goals that we've had in this match. They all have been different. We've seen from set pieces, we've seen headers, we've seen an Olympico, we've seen individual strikes, we've seen volleys, we've had it all. And as a neutral, as a fan of soccer in an all-star game, that is exactly what you want. Players taking their chances, shooting from distance, and really making their impact felt, and showing why ultimately they are all-stars and playing in this game.
Ryan Walker back on. He was a team manager for the boys basketball team. Both his junior and senior years of high school, would make the basketball team as a senior. Plans to attend Utah State. Wants to work as either an equipment manager and stats. He's onto the field. He has won both state championships for unified high school in soccer and basketball. And now trying to guide his crew to the finish line of this one. And we also get Angel Castillo coming in from Sporting Kansas City, the 21-year-old, a big fan of the Chiefs and the Royals. I know he's excited for the start of football season with Patrick Mahomes trying to guide the Chiefs back to the promised land. His brother Herman has already scored in this one. And he replaces Elijah Ramos. Ball up and over the top. Atuma been all over the pitch today. Rojas cannot quite slow it down. The East trying to get numbers forward. Pretty good run right now by Hester. Finally evades that one last defender with this pass for Eberle. But Eberle is offside. Injury here in the 83rd minute.
Hot. Players are dealing with a lot, not only against 11 players on the other side, but also the conditions here on this artificial surface. We've seen 2 hydration breaks. So there is a lot of fitness being tested, not only mentally, physically. There's a lot of respect for every single one of these athletes to come out and perform the way that they have.
Looks like it was Hester that was injured. He was the one that made that long run. Hopefully it's just a cramp. It looks like it's going to be Richard Matthews that is going to come in. Back up. So Matthews, the youngest of 7 siblings, is going to come onto the field. Matthews scored the opener for the East in this one. Might he provide the closer as well? Will the West have the final say in today's match? Matthews back in from Toronto. Here's Veliz. Carlos Gonzalez defends. Gonzalez trying to slam the door shut. And he does for the moment. Veliz bumps back off of him. Bodies tangle up. Veliz, stick-to-itiveness, wins the throw. Started with the defending from Carlos Gonzalez, though. This ball bounces in. Richard volleys, and that ends up out for a corner kick. We're back to Carlos Gonzalez for a moment. Represented Washington, D.C. at the Global Youth Leadership Conference in Berlin with Special Olympics. A quiet leader with strong values, but had that opportunity to travel across the pond to represent the nation's capital, the 17-year-old and a recent graduate of Coolidge Senior High School. Well, corner kicks have been great for the West. They've scored both goals off of corner kicks in this second half.
And Coolidge Senior High School is where Atuma is the valedictorian in 2025, so that's a nice little connection there.
Two standouts so far in this one as that corner kick goes out for a goal kick.
Not only on the field, but off the field as well. Daniel Atuma will attend Bucknell in the fall on a scholarship and the Gates Scholarship as well. So congrats to Atuma. And a good player, but also succeeding off the field.
Fazal twirls, races. It's stymied in the end. Trickles forward. Gonzalez pokes at it. Veliz cannot get there before Leon skims it to the middle of the field. Castillo gets a good poke here to start something. Needle is threaded by Aguirre. Chasing after it is Ryan Walker. He just could not quite get the weight on that back to Rojas.
I have to think with the 4+ remaining here that there is going to be one or two golden opportunities for either one of these sides, and they've found the most success when they've played direct in behind the back line of the opposition, because both defending units have been really aggressive at stepping up.
There will not be extra time or penalties if we are tied at the end of the full 90. And some of that heat starting to influence the game here a little bit. Looks like another cramp. This is Groschal, who has 2 goals and an assist in this game.
Talked about the togetherness here in this All-Star game, the Special Olympics, Unified Sports. Yes, they might play for different conferences, but in the end, it's all one big team, and that is a perfect example of UC Ketherpal helping kind of stretch. Rothal is dealing with a little bit of cramping, excuse me. How many times have we seen, whether it's a player from the West, a player from the East, just come together, shake hands, give each other high fives, and in the end, that is what ultimately matters for every single one of these players.
Bonds that will last forever being formed here between the East and the West in MLS's 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game presented by Coca-Cola.
Take out those tickets and take a look. That number is 872-0-0-3-2. You are our lucky winner one more time. 872-0-0-3-2. Head on down to the front desk and claim your tickets to tonight's MLS All-Star Game.
This ball played in. Valise finds space. Valise hooks this around and cannot put it on target. A nearly colossal mistake that could have netted the game winner.
Philly scored a really good goal in that first half with a volley. Now, almost very similarly, eludes the goalkeeper and just needs to get his hip squared a little bit quicker, because if he does, that goal is wide open. But good off-the-ball running from Valise just to create that opportunity in the 90th minute.
16-year-old junior at Bountiful High School, perfect 4.0 GPA, and nearly had a perfect finish.
What was your GPA?
In high school, it's not bad.
College?
Depends what you want to ask. It wasn't great. What about yours? Were you an academic All-American?
Academic All-American, 4.0.
No, you weren't. 4.0, no chance.
You underestimated me.
I was around a 3. I was
higher than that.
C's get degrees.
I was higher than that. You were no Valise, though.
That's true. I'm not a valedictorian like
Atuma?
Atuma, yeah. Here's a long distance attempt, and again, this is just wide. Hazer trying to provide the winner.
Showing a little bit of strength here, this western side. 2 really good opportunities to end this game, and I love that first touch to come century yet again. Hazer already has found the back of the net, hits it well, nearly tries to find that near post, but not enough bend to squeak it in.
Just a singular minute of stoppage time, so maybe a chance for a winner. Groschal in the East trying to win it here. Groschal bends this ball high and over everything. Ambitious, but not quite enough on that. You know, one of these two sides wants to win, but might not be enough time.
First half was all about the attacking soccer, players scoring goals, players having fun. But this second half defensively, that was the priority for both of these teams, the East and the West. And in the end, 4-4 is our final. But what a match. Everything that you wanted in an all-star game, it had. It had goals, it had friendship, it had happiness, and it had players being proud of what they've accomplished. Great picture right there.
4-4 is the final in this one. Celebration for quite the performance in this one. All 8 of our goals happened in the opening hour of the match. And in the end, defense wins the final 30 minutes of this game as we finish 4-4 in this one. We'll step out for a breather. Full-time highlights in the trophy presentation comes your way when we return.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars.
Dangerous through ball into the box here. Around the keepers.
Gallardo gets it away. It's Paulinho. Oh, how good is that? Ball in for Evander. It's set up nicely for him. And that's a lovely. And this is well done. Oh, straight from the training ground.
Este verano la Leagues Cup regresa más fuerte que nunca. Comenzamos con 36 clubes. En la primera fase, cada equipo jugará contra 3 equipos de la liga rival para determinar su posición en la fase de eliminación directa.
The 4 top-seeded clubs from each league will move on, ensuring interleague matchups all the way through the quarterfinals.
3 naciones, 2 ligas y un solo campeón. En Leagues Cup 2025,
it's dominance on the line.
This summer, the center of the soccer world is right here. The world's best, the world's game, all in your backyard.
It's the MLS All-Stars against the Liga MX All-Stars. Messi the volley.
One summer like no other. Learn more at MLSsoccer.com/summer.
Full-time in the 2025 MLS Special Olympics Unified Game sees the East and the West share the point. 4-4 is the final in this one. here today. Michael Watring, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and our team finishing up our coverage here in Austin. And it started with a flourish. The West got off to a great start. It was the Austin FC man on his home pitch. Moises Aguirre passing it over where Kaiser finished.
Kaiser does a good job at just sticking with the play right on top of that 6-yard box. You make the run, you give you a little bit of extra effort, you will get rewarded. And another great goal from this Western Conference side. It starts with Rojas, who is really good at eluding his defender, but also whipping the ball to give his teammates a chance. Please wins his individual duel, but just notice the technical ability, the patience to let the ball drop, and when it drops, he keeps his shoulders and head over it, and there's no stopping that. 2-0 Western Conference at this point.
They started off hot, but the East found their response. 28th minute, right off the hydration break, Groschal steals this ball, and Matthews finishes.
Good decision from Groschal to understand Matthews. There's acres of space as the back line is retreating. There is space, easy, composed finish for Matthews, and you see what it means for the East to get on the board, but can they tie this game? The answer is yes, and it is that man, Groschal, who does the extra running, beats the goalkeeper off of the line, and it's off to the corner to celebrate. Every single one of those players playing the video game and giving credit to Diogo Jota. 2-2.
It would be 3 goals in 5 minutes. Here was the second in that stretch. It was this pass up top and an easy finish for Atuma.
Edgeworth does a good job of cutting to the end line and understanding Atuma's making that run right next to him. So you cut it back and you give the East the lead. Groschal once again getting on the end of it. Good recognition from Frazal to be really aggressive, very direct. And the left side of your screen, number 5, and acres of space. No one marks him. The ball somehow gets by not 1, but 2 defenders. Groschal gets his brace.
4-2 the score at halftime. 4 goals in 15 minutes for the East. But in the second half, 5 minutes in, this ball from Ketchrapal ends up in the net in the 50th minute to make it a 4-3 game, and then another corner. Richard to Castillo for the equalizer.
Great header, even better movement from Castillo. Notice how he heads it back across where it came from. There's no chance for the goalkeeper. And all aboard, we're rowing the boat off to the end. 4-4, we split the points here in Austin.
So 4-4 is the final, and they will go through these presentations. Ricky, how do you summarize what we watched over the last 90 minutes of action here in the 2025 MLS Special Olympics Unified game?
A lot of proud athletes, what they've accomplished, not only on the field, but off the field. It's an opportunity to recognize all of the hard work that you've been through, and a moment to enjoy and really build relationships, build memories, build friendships that will continue as you progress in life. And as a player, when you play in a game like this, you just have to enjoy every single moment of it. You just see all the smiles, and we saw not only smiles off the field, but on the field, scoring really good goals, and just an awesome moment to be a part of.
The skills on full display. You look at some of these players. Harper Gibson from Nashville for the East, state champion in the 4x200, the 300-meter hurdles, showcasing the overall skills brought on that we had a chance to watch. Jaden Carbajal from LAFC won 12 medals in track and field, including the 100 and 200 meters, and so many different talents brought to you here today on the pitch in the 2025 Special Olympics Unified All-Star Game. And the trophy presentation, the medals of this matchup, watching here in Austin, Texas. But the biggest thing that we'll take away from this one is the smiles and the joy that these two teams brought here in this game presented by Coca-Cola here in Austin, Texas.
Your determination, your resilience, and your joy. And so we are excited today to be presenting the Spirit of Fair Play Award to continue to honor that spirit and that joy. So I'll bring up Ben to go ahead and award our honorees.
Thank you.
We're going to hand out a couple of the awards right now. The first is going to be the Spirit of Fair Play Award.
Before I get to the award, I want to be a broken record. Congratulations again to these amazing athletes. Thank you for sticking out with the heat. Amazing job. So, Spirit of Fair Play Award is awarded to one athlete and one partner who exemplify strong sportsmanship and leadership, not only today, but throughout the week, preparing for today as well. So I'm proud to give this award to one United athlete and one partner who truly stood out this week to coaches and players. So I'm proud to congratulate athlete Trevor Walsh with the Colorado Rapids.
Trevor Walsh, the Spirit of Fair Play Award from Colorado Rapids.
We also have partner Harper Gibson with Nashville SC.
And Harper Gibson, who I just mentioned, she's a huge Star Wars fan. And she'll get one of the Spirit of Fair Play Awards. And Trevor Walsh as well. Enjoys running. He's on the high school cross country and track and field teams. And those two players will get their awards here today. And what a fun time it was here in Austin. 4-4 the final in this one. You have the MLS versus the Liga MX team coming up later on tonight on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. But 4-4 the final in this one in the 2025 MLS Special Olympics Unified game. For my partner Ricky Lopez-Espin and our entire crew here in the Lone Star State, I'm Michael Watrang saying so long for now. Good night, everybody.